Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you today? I hope you happy and healthy every day. Amin. Okay, now we will discuss about force. The unit of force, the Newton, is named after the English scientist Sir Isaac Newton. Although the story about Newton and the falling apple is likely not true, he was the first scientist to describe gravitational force mathematically. In addition to his work on force and motion, Newton also made large contributions to topics to optics, math, and biology. Definition of force. Force means to pull or push. Activities of pulling or pushing are exerting a force. Whenever we push or pull an object, we apply a force on it. Although we cannot see force, we can see or feel the object move. Unit of force in MKS is Newton and JGS is dyne. The effect of force. Many things that we do involve force. When we apply force on object, interaction will be occurred. Then we can usually see their effect on object around us. A force acting on object may causes the object 1. To change shape, 2. To start moving, 3. To stop moving, 4. To accelerate or decelerate, 5. To change their direction of movement, 6. To change their form and size. And then force classification. Force can be classified into two groups. One, contact force is a force that works on a body and there is contact between the force and the object. For example, friction, elastic spring, and muscular force. 2. Long range force is force that works on an object and there is no contact occurred between the force and object. For example, gravitation force and magnetic force. Measure force. This is classified using a law known as Hooke's law. The importance of this law may not be obvious to you, but it is used in the design of most items you use every day. By studying the Newton spring balance, we may appreciate the way in which the law works and how to use it to measure force. Force resultant. Objects usually have more than one force acting on them at any time if both the forces are acting in straight line. We can add or subtract the force to show the overall effect on the object called resultant force. If both forces are working in the same direction, we add them together. Resultant force, force A add force B. For X acting on the same or not straight line. Number A. Applied force one direction to the right. Resultant force, force A add force B. 10 Newton at 20 Newton. Resultant force is 13 Newton. B. Opposite direction left and right. Resultant force, force A subtract force B. Look at the picture. Force diagram example. A rocket accelerating upward. a Soyuz orbital module in orbit. A Soyuz re-entry capsule just after the breakthrough has been released. A Soyuz re-entry capsule at rest on the ground. The Soyuz orbital module in orbit. Even though its speed may be constant, its velocity is changing direction force are balanced, then only force acting on the module is the wake. The Soyuz orbital module in the orbit. Even though its speed might be constant, its velocity is changing as it changing direction. Forces are unbalanced. The only force acting on the module is wake. The capsule is deceleration, so the forces aren't balanced. The drag from the particule must be larger than the weight of the parachute and the capsule. The forces are balanced as the capsule is the moving. The reaction for acting on the capsule for the ground is equal and opposite to the weight of the capsule. Friction force is force that resists the motion of object is in contact with another object or material. Any two friction force is static and kinetic. If the objects are not moving relative to each other, the friction force called static. If they are moving, the friction is kinetic. Static friction is opposite the push to prevent motion. Kinetic friction is opposite the motion. The advantage of friction. 1. Friction between outfit and the surface of road make use able to walk. If the road is smooth without friction, then we slip. 2. We would not be able to note on anything. 3. Friction in braking system can slow down the vehicle. 4. Friction between a tire and road surface so that vehicle is not slip. And disadvantage of friction. 1. Friction between car engine and ITS clothes can produce excess of heat, which can make the engine worn out. 2. Friction between air and car can reduce the shear motion. 3. Friction between type of vehicle and road cause the tire become thin. Ways to reduce friction: using ball bearing or wheels, using lubricants such as oil and grease, use highly polished surface for movement. Doing exercise, make the column, define and true and false. You writing in your book and you sending your photo in my WhatsApp. Okay, I hope you understand about my explanation for today. See you in the next class ya. Fighting. Bye bye.